Evening TV here from RIdeADV, tech tip video 2, 3, I don't know. And these things, we don't rehearse them, we don't, there's nothing fancy. It is what it is. Suspension this week, a little bit more about it. Rooster's 84 kilos. We went away on a ride recently, we came over the commission track. There was 3 of us on Tenere's and it was on like Donkey Kong. I was super impressed, 4 of us on Tenere, sorry, I was super impressed at Rooster on the standard bike. One bike had a set of Androni 4 cartridges and a TFX shock. My bike has a modified shock from Technics and modified standard forks. The other bike had a softer setting, a more compliant setting. I like a really hard bike, and a lot of people don't like the way I like my bike valve, so a softer setting, and Rooster had a standard bike. These bikes out of the box, for Rooster to have a crew bike, we put a set of our RIdeADV racks on, put a set of bark busters on it, we pulled the rubbers out of the foot pegs, and we put a bash plate on it. And Rooster ran with 8 kilos on the left hand side and 15 kilos on the right hand side on our RIdeADV racks, and ran with everyone with a modified suspension. He complained about it falling through the end of the stroke on the bigger hits, because springs really only hold you up. Okay, they hold you up statically, they hold you up as you're running along. It's the valving that stops it going right through the stroke. Don't worry, springs can only do so much. A lot of talk about springs and stuff at the moment. Valving stops it falling through the stroke in the end, and that becomes the juggle. So Technics have got our 3 different settings that we're trying. These things are great out of the box, and that was evident with Rooster the other day. But Nick's asked us to try a set of progressive springs in Rooster's bike, nothing else. He's given us some clicker settings to start with. We've put a heavier progressive spring in the back. We can do springs here at Technics. Here at, where are we? We're at RIdeADV. We can use Technics springs, you can have them done here. If you don't want to go all the way to Penrith, we can do them in the shock press here that we've got. It'd be interesting how this goes. We tried a spring in mine earlier, standard, and for me, after a little while, the shock overheated, and by the time I think the shock got 40 something degrees, it was starting to lose what it could do. So we're interested to see how this goes. Nick's not often wrong, but he's very curious. He's not been a fan of progressive springs the whole time I've known him, so this is an interesting thing we're trying. We're going for a ride this weekend. We'll get some feedback from Rooster, and we'll see how it goes. Next week, we're going to talk about steering dampers and explain the myths that a lot of people seem to have around steering dampers. Have a great week.